baby. What's up, everybody? We are Yanks of the Cock. We are here for the post-match reactions to Liverpool's dismantling of Crystal Palace, 7-0. To our boy Steve, Crystal Palace fan, I hope that you're doing okay. I hope you are not dead, because I think your team might be dead after that performance. Holy shit. What a game. We have sent a message to the entire league. I'm your host, Steve, with my brother Scans and Wahomie, and we have a very special guest. He's been a good friend of ours for a long time. I can't believe this is the first time we've had him on. You've seen him on the Kopite Official, and now you see him on Redman TV. We have Jay Cully. Jay, thanks so much for coming, man. Love the jersey. How are we feeling right now?
Hey, well, I wore it in honor of you guys, you know what I mean? Because I'm a big fan of the NHL, and Paul Correa was a hero of mine, so I wore this just for you boys today. But, mate, honestly, thank you so much for having me. Absolutely buzzing. And for the first time I'm joining you boys, what a performance we've just witnessed. And I can't wait to get stuck in with you three talking about what I've just fucking witnessed there. So happy, boys. Come on.
Damn right. Well, let's get right into it. I want to start with our opening statements because I feel like we're all going to have something different to say. The thing I want to start with when it comes to our opening statements is this. We've been talking on this podcast for probably about a month now that Liverpool has not been as clinical as we know that we can be. And this is what fucking happens when we are clinical. I would say in that first half, we didn't even play that damn good. But the fact that we were up 3-0, we had about 3 good chances, finished all 3. If I'm an opposing fan watching this game, I am shitting my pants. I'm shaking in my boots because we have so many key injuries. Thiago's coming back next month. And if we can continue to be as clinical as we were today, we may not lose another game the entire season. I know it's only against Crystal Palace, but hell of a result. Bobby on the score sheet twice. Salah coming off the bench getting 2 goals. Naby Keita back. Mane getting a goal. Absolutely stellar performance from the team. Taki getting on the clean on the sheet. Absolutely buzzing. Absolutely loving this team right now. 7-0 win. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, the only thing I would add to that is I'm just so excited for Bobby Firmino. I mean, we saw glimpses of it the past few games, but the audacity that he had on that last goal to chip the keeper, he had no right scoring there, and somehow he pulled it off. It looked like the Bobby Firmino from 17-18, and he's just ready to go. He's looking for a goal any opportunity he can get. He's linking play. He's doing everything right, and I am so happy that he's finally starting to deliver for us. I mean, he's always delivered for us, but now that he's back and at his best is just great to see. I'm so happy for him.
I think for me, I'm going to go with a different angle. I think before this game, there were so many people criticizing Minamino starting, Kate starting. There was so much agenda against both of them. And I think today, both of them were outstanding. You know, people, even after this game, are quick to point out the mistakes they had in the game rather than giving them praise. I think that's just pure agenda. You know, they didn't play any worse than anyone else on the pitch. And I think for them also to get 90 minutes, I think, they shut up a lot of people today for me. And I think, I'm happy for the fact that they put in these good performances because now people can get off their back and start saying, sell Minamino or get rid of Keita and stuff. So I think, I'm happy they got the performance today.
Yeah, that's a really good point, mate. And for me, I'm going to go for a more of a broad. This was a massive week for the club. We all knew how important it was to get a result against Spurs and not to fuck up today, because we've sort of done that where we've had a big result and then we played shit away from home. So today was a massive, massive statement for not just because we won. I expect us to scrape a 2-1 win, I'll be honest with you, because the way we've been playing away from home. But to win by that margin sends a massive message. A bit like what you said before, Stevie. It sends a massive message now. So now we can take the rest of the weekend now just to sit back, put our feet up and watch everybody cut each other's throats. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So that's so important. We've finished this week and we've got a week off now and we finished it. And as we stand, we're 6 points clear, which is so fucking important right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Spurs have luster, right?
And our rivals right now, there's a lot of big games going on this weekend. Man City's got a big game, Chelsea's got a big game, United's got a big game, Tottenham's got a big game. So you never know. We could end up now with even more space. And again, with the injuries coming back, we could be skyrocketing right now. So let's get into the rundown. I want to get into this game so bad here. So I think where we start always is with the lineup. It was good to see Matty back in there, after his back spasms. Hope he got that injection or whatever. Naby Keita back in the starting lineup. he got a really good run out today, about 60 or 70 minutes. Did he play the full 90? No,
Full 90.
Oh, he did play the full 90. He played the full 90. Salah got rested and still came on, scored 2 goals. No, what were your guys' thoughts, especially Minamino starting too? What were you guys thought on the starting lineup, and especially those guys like Naby and Minamino? Do you guys think they took the chances that they had?
Yeah, I think I'll start. Yeah, I think I'll start this one. I think I understood Salah being dropped or rested today because he had played 3 games for the last 8 days, and he had obviously just came out from COVID. So I didn't understand the whole major upset from so many people on Twitter that the fact that Salah wasn't starting today. We're talking about resting players, and then this is a good chance to rest them. So I didn't really have a problem with him starting. And also I felt as well because even with Naby, I was happy for Naby to start with Jones today. I think Jones has been outstanding. But he's played a lot of football. He's only 19, and I thought again it made sense to rest him today, and give out Jones and give out Minamino and Keita some minutes. So I think they did take a chance today. And I think no one can say that they didn't take the chance today because, you look at him in the second half, Keita's created like at least 2 or 3 good chances there that, should have been taken, So I think as well, Minamino, maybe he did a lot of, he might have had a massive impact in the second half, Minamino, but he made himself busy and he was getting involved, so he did take his chance today. So I think in that sense, I was happy with the lineup. So I don't know about you guys, but I was happy with it.
Go on, Scans, you go.
I feel like Wahomie's opening statement was a shot at me for sure.
Not as you, other people.
I was definitely critical of Naby starting. I said it in the last episode. I didn't think he deserved the start. I thought that Jones has been playing really well. I mean, I'm fine with him getting the rest in the first half and starting Naby over him. But I think when someone's playing as well as he was, I think you need to promote that. You need to reward that. And I thought he should have deserved the start. I'm glad he made an appearance eventually, but I kind of disagree with Wahomie's sentiment about Naby in the beginning. In the first half, I thought he struggled. He was giving the ball away a lot in key moments, it seemed like. But, he made a good point. We were under siege for most of the time after we scored that first goal, and, a lot of the players weren't playing particularly well. So maybe I was a little too harsh on Naby there, but he definitely turned it on in the second half. He was unbelievable in the second half, and that's Naby Keita that we know and love. I wish he didn't play the full 90 just because of his injury record. I'm always worried about him. So I would have preferred him to maybe play 60 or 70 minutes. But, hey, it doesn't look like he walked away with an injury, so I've been proven wrong. But overall, man, the guys played an unbelievable game. And, the front 3 was firing. Minamino came and scored a goal right in the second minute, I think it was. He disappeared for a little bit after that, but like he always does it, he's always working hard for the team. And he was clearly rewarded for that, and he repaid Klopp's faith.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I think
the overall performance and those 2 guys in particular.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. And I'm just going to touch on the Minamino thing that you said there. He is a bit of a workhorse, and it must be something in that number 18 jersey because Dirk Kuyt wore number 18, and he played in the front 3, front 4, and he was a workhorse as well. But I think with the Naby Keita situation, because we've got a week off, I think Klopp knew. You think, right, you can afford to do 90 minutes because we've got a week off now. So I think that was important why he did that. But again, I sit on the fence between both of what you said there. I was, again, eyebrow raising in terms of Naby Keita starting because I believe with you, Scans, I thought Jones should have been rewarded with another start, especially because he's been playing so well. But Holmes is absolutely spot on. You need to be giving Naby Keita minutes because he did show his quality today. And you are right, he did go. A few passes were a bit astray and stuff like that, but some of his quality of his passing was incredible. Like when Minamino had that chance in the second half.
Yeah.
And he obviously should have scored, but it was all Naby Keita's work, and the ball through the middle was just incredible. And like Holmes said, that is the Naby Keita we know and love. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I think it was a win-win situation after that entire result there because we've got a week off. Everybody got some minutes in the legs. The Ox coming on was fantastic. And, yeah, man, I just think everyone got a little bit of what they should. And I love the fact that Mane was moaning when he went off because he wanted more goal. I love that about the players. It's fantastic. And Bobby will be absolutely buzzing tonight because the shit he's had on social media over the last couple of weeks is just so unfair from a minority few. But, yeah, he's answered that with the 2 fingers there, just going, yeah, listen, I've got a couple of goals and assists there. So it's just, yeah, incredible. What a day, guys. It's only early. On a Saturday.
Everything that we wanted to happen happened. It's unbelievable.
Perfect. That's the perfect way to sum it up. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because, again, like I want to go back to my opening statements about being clinical. We on this podcast, I don't want to say that we've been critical of Sadio Mane, but he has not had that final touch around the box that we were accustomed to seeing, and that turn and goal was vintage Sadio Mane. So I think that boosted his confidence. And then when you just think about Firmino as well, he got the hockey assist on his own goal, and then got another goal. His movement was flawless, and I'm just again the front three. Even when it was Minamino, and then when we subbed in Salah, they did not miss a beat. Their movement was so fluid. The ball movement was impeccable. The one thing we've talked about was we have been missing that creative force to feed the front three. We didn't even need that today. Everybody today was hitting their passes perfectly, seeing the field so well. And you can just tell after that Tottenham win, they definitely had a little pep in their step, and they said, we cannot take the foot off the pedal. I was thrilled with how clinical we were. I mean, it seemed like all we needed to do is put the ball on net, and it was going to be perfectly placed. And if we continue to play like that, unbelievable. But, I mean, a couple milestones today. I think it was Trent's 150th appearance, Naby Keita's 50th appearance.
Yep.
Perfect day all around for everybody. I mean, what did you guys think of Taki's performance starting off on the wing? Because I always thought he's better in the middle, but he played great today, starting out on the wing.
Yeah, it's surprising really, because that's why we bought him. We bought him to play more of a central role, but he can play out there. He did really well for Salzburg out there, but his main position was straight through the middle. And this was the type of Taki performance that we bought him for. And how ironic as well, because I'm sure it was on this day 12 months ago when we agreed the deal. For Taki Minamino. Yep. So it's a nice little anniversary present there that he's given us. So yeah, I think people have seen a glimpse of that's what we bought him for. And it's kind of unfair really, because if you think back 12 months ago when we were buying Minamino, there was no COVID, there was none of the restrictions that were in place, the games weren't coming every 3 days and stuff like that, and there was a certain level of how Taki was going to be integrated into the side with gaps in fixtures and stuff like that. So the world's changed dramatically, and so has the football. So he might not have been able to, because of the fixtures and all that stuff, so he might not have been able to get the games and the starts that he wants and the way Klopp wants him to perform. And that's what people need to remember, that there was a reason why we bought him. And you got to think about it, for £7 million, it was worth the gamble. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we're spending 30-odd million. So people can't get too disheartened around the 12 months with Minamino. But at the end of the day, this is what we bought him for, to do those things. And when he was central, that's where we got the best out of him.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, I think he's starting to find his form a little bit. You saw it today. He's definitely playing with a lot more confidence. He's playing with the starters, so he has that better quality around him. I mean, I agree with what Jay said, is that £7 million was definitely a risk willing to take on this guy, and you can see some of his qualities today. That touch that Keita put him through on, he just kind of flicked it over the defender, and he almost had a shot. I think it was blocked, or maybe he missed it wide, but that quality's there. He just, when you come into a new team and a new league, a new country, there's a lot you have to overcome, whether it's the language barrier, new style of play, different things, whatever it is, even the whole culture thing. So it's going to take him some time to really impact the squad, but you're starting to see glimpses of it now, and I hope he gets more opportunities, because he definitely could be a player for us. I don't know if he'll be like a Jota or Thiago type of signing, but he could be that guy off the bench who adds a little bit of a spark and definitely runs down the opposition.
Yeah.
I think the last time he played wide left for us, he played with, I can't remember against early on the season. He played quite well there. I think it's one of his best performances. I think the thing with Minamino, when you play on wide left, I think what it does is, you can see the difference between like when a Mane or Jota play wide left, they operate with more space and they actually link up more with Robertson down the left. But I think a lot of times, obviously, Minamino doesn't make those runs out wide to link up with Robbo. So there was obviously a lot of times where he was cutting in and not having the option that he would have there if Mane or Jota was out wide there. But I think this game will do him a world of good, because I think he was needing a goal. Like, you could see so many times he was trying so hard and snatching the shots. So I think this is exactly what you need. And you can see the emotion on him when he scored, how much it meant to him, and it's the monkey off his back. So I think obviously there's still elements of his game he needs to grow on. Like, put more muscle on to become more stronger, and then just get to the point where he has more and more involvement in the overall game. Because I think obviously he's still at that point where he's fading out. But I think today would have done what the world of good going forward, and that's exactly what we need, especially with he's going to get more games and minutes because the games are going to come thick and fast. So, we're going to need him. And Minamino with a goal and his belt and confident, you can't ask for more.
True.
Yeah, and I want to dive into your opening statements a little bit more too, Wahomie, around Naby Keita, because in the first half, for me, when I saw that he was starting, for me, the most important thing for me was I want to see him play 60 to 90 minutes and just stay healthy. For me, I didn't even care about how well he played or how well, if he was going to struggle, I don't care. Naby Keita just needs to get a run of games under him, prove that he can stay fit, and then that's when we're going to see the best of him. But I think when you looked at the first half, sure, his passing was a little sloppy. He gave the ball away a few times, but more importantly, I thought his tackles were on point. That second goal was all him, keeping that ball in the zone. And that's what he is really good at, is winning the ball back for us. So the fact that he was still able to provide that was a really good sign. But then I thought you saw it in the second half. He was a little bit more comfortable. You could tell that, the first half, he kind of, okay, I'm into the game. Yeah. And that pass from Naby to Trent to set up that goal, the Henderson goal, that was porn. That was straight up porn. That was so, And it was. And other than the fact that the commentators thought it was Mane, which really pissed me off. Unbelievable ball by Naby. And again, that second half was just a glimpse of what he can add in that midfield. That creative guy who can find that pass. Dare I say it was Thiago-esque? I don't know, but it looked really good. It looked really good. But I want Andrew and Wahomie to comment on this because they kind of went back and forth a little bit on that. I can feel tension in there. So,
but the thing I'll say is this: obviously, we have to remember this as well. This is Keita's first match back since his injury. I don't know what people are expecting.
Exactly.
We know with Naby, it takes him a while to get into rhythm. He needs a run of games.
And that's fine. I just wasn't saying that he was playing fantastically well. I was just saying that he had 77% passing accuracy that half, and there was a reason because he was giving the ball away.
But when you're in position and he's making more riskier passes, you're going to give the ball away. We see, and also he made two massive interceptions when Palace counter-attacked. But if he didn't win the ball from Ezu and Zaha, they were through.
Listen, man, he's rusty. He was rusty. I agree. I just don't think he was playing. He was the star player that you were making him out to be. That's all.
Yeah, I don't think he played any worse in that first half than Ginny did, than Trent did, than Bobby did.
I thought Gini and Hendo played really well in that first.
No, Hendo did. Ginny wasn't like Ginny was at fault for at least one of the Palace's breaks. And I don't think you're.
He had 98% passing accuracy.
Possession, 90% possession accuracy does not mean you're great defensively.
Dispossessed twice.
But it doesn't mean you're great defensively. He was caught out of position just as Naby was. One of their counter-attacks. So I disagree.
Mom, can you pick me up?
I disagree on that. I think people disagree.
I thought he struggled in the first half. I'll stick to that. But the second half, he was unbelievable. He really was. Yeah.
Oh God, I needed that guy. Thank you.
Do you know what? That was brilliant. And do you know how good that is? That's even when we've won a game, because it was so good. Love that. It's so good. That's what we need, man. I love that.
Respect.
But I will say
all
though,
love still. All love still. It's all love.
In the first half, after we scored the first goal, there was about a 10, maybe a 15-minute spell there where I thought we took the foot off the gas a little bit. We gave Palace a couple chances. If Ayew saw Zaha a little bit sooner and right in the middle, that should have been a tap-in goal for Zaha.
Mm-hmm.
Does that draw any concern to you guys? It's how we got that opening goal, and it was almost the same thing that happened to Tottenham when they played Palace. They got the first goal and just took the foot off the gas. Was that a little bit of a red flag for you guys?
It was for me. I worry sometimes when that happens to Liverpool, because let's not, Liverpool fantastic today. They really were, and every team should be shit themselves. But let's not forget that Palace did have a few chances and they did get in behind a couple of times. So let's not forget that. It was important that we do remember that there were still a few lackadaisy plays in defence. Matip got caught out a couple of times. But, at the end of the day, They could have. I mean, when we were 1-0 up, and Ayew had squared it for Zaha, and it was behind him. That goes in, and it's a completely different game. And
why did he shoot that?
Well, exactly.
Why did he shoot that?
You're number 9, aren't you? You don't look for the passes, but you go straight for goal. So
he was in the 6-yard box.
Yeah. But it's something that we do need to really think about at the minute. And God bless us, we are coping at the minute. We are riding that centre-back wave. We are doing really, really well. I think the talk of buying another centre-half in January is quietening down because we are doing really, really well. I'm touching wood here, boys, because I hope that carries on. But I think we do need to just maybe worry slightly about those little lapses in defence, because with a better side, it's going to cost us. And obviously Spurs did really, really well in the second half. In midweek. So yeah, we were I'm not going to say we were lucky today, because we weren't. We were fantastic, but there were moments in that first half where, like you said, Steve, I thought, oh, nearly got caught out there, and it was a big let off for us, but we coped with it.
Yeah, I think I agree with your sentiment there, and I think a lot of it also comes down to the fact that you're throwing in like two new players in there, Minamino and Naby. So obviously there's going to be. They're not going to make the kind of. Obviously, they are still building up their match fitness and their sharpness. So there is going to be that kind of imbalance, in terms of holding that same discipline that we might have seen. And even when they weren't there, like against Fulham and stuff, I think that's where Thiago solves that issue, because I think a lot of those balls are coming from when you lose the ball in midfield, or we lose the ball in attack. And I think we were keeping the ball better and actually controlling the game more. Those chances where we get caught on attack wouldn't be happening, because a lot of the times they are from our mistakes where we've lost the ball and then we've been caught on the transition. They're not really, I think Thiago helps that. And I think he helps in terms of, like I said, like allowing us to control the game, to take the possession and take the sting out of the game. So I think there is a concern, but I think when he comes back, a lot of that will be fixed.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is we kind of get lost in like two minds a little bit. After we scored that goal, we really want to go for the jugular. So you'll see a lot of passes over the top by like Jordan Henderson. I mean, how many times did he try that through ball over the top to Sadio Mane that just missed by like a hair or by a fraction? So I think that's what happens a lot, and then that just gives the ball right back to Crystal Palace. We saw what they did to Tottenham. They really had them pinned down for probably about 20 to 30 minutes, and they eventually scored. And luckily, that didn't happen today. They did have us pinned down. They had their opportunities. They didn't take them. But, I mean, that's the difference between a championship side and a team that's in 12th in the table. They don't take their opportunities as well as we do. So that's what it was for me. We were just giving them opportunities to win the ball back and retain possession and then just kind of pin us back there.
One of the things that we circled going into this match, and it seems like every team knows that your best chance to score is going to be attacking the left side where Trent is on that side. So we had circled that the Eze/Zaha going up against Trent. How do you guys think that Trent today defensively going up against those guys? There was a couple of times in the first half where I thought it was a little shaky, but in my opinion, all in all, very solid.
Yeah, I didn't see too much wrong with it, apart from, like you said, the couple of lapses in defence that we said about earlier. And Trent was a little bit off. Obviously, he's still come back from an injury and stuff like that, and this would be vital for him to get this game time in. But, mate, like you said, all in all, we coped really, really well. There was only those first couple of chances in that first half that really threatened us. And, yeah, I think he coped really, really well, because, like you said, you spoke about it, didn't you, on the preview show, they were the two threats. And usually Zaha is a threat with Liverpool. We do struggle with him quite a few times. But yeah, I think Trent did really, really well. Loved the little, sort of headbutt he was going forward with the player. Can't remember who was it. Was it Van Aanholt? That was it.
Van Aanholt, yeah.
Well, that was really funny. Very scouse of Trent. Is like, go on, mate, you go first, because you can't do anything in this day and age, or you're going to get sent off, aren't you? So no, mate, I think he coped really, really well with it. And again, it's just another thing about Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's enough things we could say about him. We could do an entire show on the man, couldn't we? So it's just incredible, and he's still only young. And he's just going to get better and better.
Yeah, I agree with that. Again, I think Palace were doubling up on him. They were putting Nzizi, what's his name? Eze.
Yeah.
They'll put Eze and Zaha on Trent. So they were doubling up on him in that first half and trying to attack down that left-hand side. So I think, like, overall, like I said, he had a few hairy moments in the first half, but I think overall in the second half, he was much improved. They weren't getting any joy down that side against him. And he made quite a few key tackles, so And I think a lot of people, I saw this stat beforehand. They're talking about how Trent in one-on-ones is on 67% success rate, which is the joint top in the Premiership this season for one-on-one duels.
Really?
So that's a massive improvement in terms of like his ability in one-on-ones. So I think a lot of times, obviously, Trent's issues when he gets doubled up, and that's where he struggles because he's having to face two players. But when it's just one-on-one, I don't think Zaha beat him or Eze beat him one-on-one in the whole game.
Nope.
So, I think, as you're saying, he's still very young. People forget, he's played a lot of football. 150 appearances, and he's only just turned 22. That's a lot of football for someone who's that young. So he's still growing and learning. So a lot of these defensive issues will go out of his game. And also, I think you said in previous games how, I think you mentioned it, Stephen, that how you changed Trent's game in a bit. Like he's not attacking as much this season as he is compared to Robbo.
Yep.
And he's taking different positions. So I think as well, he's learning different parts of his game to become more adaptable. So I think overall, he's been was good today.
Yeah, I thought Trent was definitely effective. He was effective at preventing Zaha any freedom on that left hand side for Zaha. But for me, it's definitely Trent improving defensively, but also the presence of Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson was everywhere in that first half. He's one of the reasons why we didn't get scored on. I mean, we should nickname him the mop or something. He was just mopping up everything. He was cleaning up everything. It was absolutely absurd. I mean, wherever you look, you just see Jordan Henderson, and he's clearing the ball or winning the ball back and winning possession. There was one time he made this great play, won back possession, passed it to Firmino. Firmino tried this crazy flick, and he lost possession, and Hendo just stared him down with like so much hatred and disappointment. I was like, I would not want to be Bobby right now. But I mean, it's just great having him in the side, and I think that he definitely helps in Trent's confidence defensively, knowing that he's always there to help him.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great finish as well, Fendo. Always pleased to see Henderson get a goal, because he doesn't score enough goals, obviously, because he does so much for the team in other ways as well. But yeah, very pleased with his goal. What a finish. And yeah, I think that goal got me pregnant. It was that good. So good. So good.
I was going to say, you're looking a little big over there.
I think I'll put the hockey jersey on.
Extra breathability for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, but Andrew, you said it. You nailed it on the head, because that was going to be my transition. I just think Trent plays with way more confidence defensively when he knows Henderson's next to him. And I just also think when it comes to the entire team's organization and positioning and discipline, it goes another level when Henderson's in there, and it literally takes for Henderson to not play to highlight that. That's the thing about Henderson and Genie. It's one of those guys, like when you watch the game, you don't always see it unless you notice it when they're not playing. When they're not playing, when you're like, wow, we are really missing Genie Wijnaldum's energy, or wow, we're really missing Henderson's leadership. And I think that's what a true footballer is. They don't need the praise of scoring and assisting. There's going to be your workhorses, your anchors, in that defensive mid spot. And our success is vital to them staying healthy and being on the field. And I think that was a classic example of it today. They again, like you said, they were mops. They cleaned everything up.
I think we also just mentioned Alisson, because I think he made that a very timely interception in the first half. That if he doesn't make that chance, I think it's Eze or Zaha was clean and goal. And he sweeped it. You're seeing Mendy trying those things and making a complete fool of himself for Chelsea. I think that's an underrated part of Alisson's game, where he's reading the game is so good that he's able to mop up those things for us.
Well, that's the thing. And we've talked about it on this podcast when we had Adrian in there. The biggest issue is that we need almost like a sweeper keeper who is comfortable playing with his feet and coming off his line. And I think that's the biggest thing that Alisson gives us, is that back line knows if we get beat over the top, we have the perfect guy behind us who knows when to come out, who knows when to stay on his line. And we have the utmost confidence in his footwork. And I think that just gives the entire team a breath of fresh air. And that was, again, a classic example when he shut down Eze. Was perfect example of that. But what about this? I mean, Bobby Firmino, ever since we gave him that couple of games rest, he has been back to his old form. The first couple of games back, he wasn't scoring, but his connection play, his movement, his defensive tracking back, was spot on. And now the last 2 games, we've really seen shades of the 17-18 Bobby coming back. I mean, Jay, what were your thoughts with the string of games that he's on right now? It seems like he's probably the biggest guy on our team that thrives off of, the crowd. I feel like he's still living off of that energy he's getting from Anfield.
Absolutely, mate. And you just hit the nail on the head there when you mentioned the 17-18 season, because obviously that was Bobby's arguably his best return season, if you like, in terms of his goals and his assists. I think we are starting to see that again now. I think this week will give him a massive boost of confidence, especially with getting the last-minute goal against Spurs and then obviously helping himself to a couple today with an assist. I think this is the Bobby that we all know and love. But obviously, if Bobby doesn't score goals and doesn't get assists, he does so much work in that front three, which allows Salah and Mane to be the players that they've been over the last couple of years, where they've got all the plaudits over Firmino. And it's only obviously us Liverpool fans who realise and know what he does for the team. And when you take Bobby Firmino out, you do lose something with Mane and Salah. Yep. And I think that's the role that Minamino sort of being bred for is that replacement when we need to give Bobby a rest. And eventually that will come, I'm sure it will, because Minamino's got the talent, as we discussed. But the fact that we're seeing this from the likes of Bobby now with a big smile on his face, them gorgeous pearly white teeth that he's got, and he's doing the karate kick celebration again, and everything just seems dead rosy and Bobby Firmino, man. So let's just see what happens. And I do think now he's going to get a big lease of life and just go, yeah, this is it now. I'm back. And everybody on Twitter and all that who's been calling him out to sell him in January and buy a proper striker and all that sort of stuff, that should disappear now, because our front three works when those three play together. And yeah, it's just so good to see Bobby back there this week.
Absolutely. What do you think, guys? Andrew, my homie?
Yeah, I think Bobby's been outstanding. I think we are, like you said, the rest was provided for him in terms of giving him that recharge. And you're just seeing that now he's just popping up with big goals. He's the confident. I noticed when Bobby wasn't scoring was he wasn't smiling much. He wasn't enjoying his football. And I think now, I think also having the fans back for the Wolves game, because I think Bobby's a showmanship. So that having the fans back for that Wolves game also gave him a buzz, because hearing his name being sang also rejuvenated him. So I think we are seeing the Bobby we love and know, like the link-up play, the running, that goal he did for the third goal was his football porn, to start it and then gain the box was football porn, I saw a stat that OptiStat posted. They said that Bobby and Salah have combined 17 times for goals. Only Maka and Fowler have scored more, combined 24 times more in Liverpool history.
Wow.
As a duel. Wow. So I think that is, we're seeing Bobby back to his best. It's just the more we see it, the better, because he's going to be crucial in the big games and the futures coming up. So it's good to see him happy and back.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough going last on this show because everybody has such good points. I can't really add my own good points, but I think it's the trifecta of everything you guys just mentioned. It's the fans coming back and supporting him. It's the rest that he had, and it's that smile. Like homie said, he's enjoying his football again. But I do think that Bobby can be kind of like an X factor for this team. The past couple of years, he hasn't had the goal output that we saw in 17-18, and maybe he'll never reach that again. But if he can get into the double digits and he's always involved in the goals, whether it's a key pass, goal contribution, whatever it is, it's going to take this team to the top. And a lot of teams, I think, in the past 6 months probably weren't really expecting that from Bobby, given his recent struggles. But if he can turn it back on again, look out. Seriously, look out.
Yeah, and it's funny because I remember at the start of the season when Bobby was in some poor form, Klopp said in an interview that even Bobby went up to him, was like, I need to be scoring more goals. Yeah. You could tell it was impacting them. And Klopp even told him, he's like, I don't care if you don't score any goals. That's not your role in the team. But you can just tell, just having him get opportunities and putting the ball in the back of the net, it does add that confidence to him. And like you said, Andrew, he is the X factor. I think outside of Henderson and maybe Alisson right now, he's probably our most important player. He's not our best player, but when he's clicking like we know he can, he opens up everything for Mane, opens up everything for Salah. And actually, I want to pivot to Salah because I saw a lot of people again today talking about the selfishness of Salah. And he comes on, scores 2 beauties, and then that wonderful freaking pass to Firmino for his goal. I'm sorry, but he plays the exact type of football that you want out of a player like him. He draws so much attention to himself, and he's creating so many goddamn goals for other people. He's so dangerous. He's so dangerous, and I'm just sick and tired of hearing about him being selfish, because he's not a selfish player. Like, if he has the shot, he takes it, which he should. But he's not. Ever since that Burnley match last year, when Mane got mad at him, I've seen him pass as much, and I've never seen him track back on defense as much. He's literally become the perfect player for us.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I love what you've just finished there with the defensive side of his game. He was awesome against Spurs on the defensive cover. It was absolutely fantastic. Even if he lost the ball, he was sprinting back to get it. But I think with the Salah thing, it was quite interesting, wasn't it, that he's come on and scored a couple of goals and performed the way he has, considering what had happened about an hour before kickoff when we found out that he wasn't starting, and obviously the whole interview with the Barcelona Real Madrid rumours and stuff like that, and he wouldn't watch them. It was like, oh my God, Klopp's dropped him because of that interview. It's like, no, Klopp hasn't fucking dropped him. Salah's been playing 90 minutes all the time. He played against 90 minutes against Michelin, and he's played 90 minutes since. He needed a rest. But then he's come on and gone, right, Klopp. He still had that attitude of a striker who wants to play his games. You're right, you've benched me, watch me come on now and bang two. And he's done that. And that second one, like you said, Steve, was just incredible. And we are so lucky to have Mo Salah. We really, really are. And you won't know what it's like without him. And, it's one of the things you won't know what you've had till you've lost it, And there might be a time where Salah leaves. We've got to look at his age now, and Michael Edwards isn't a stupid man. He will think about what we've got to do in the future in terms of like getting good value for the player. That's not saying I want Salah to leave. Of course, I don't want him to leave. I want him to stay for the rest of his career. But he's a footballer at the end of the day. He might want to go and win trophies somewhere else because he's done it all at Liverpool. But he did say he wants to win more Premier League titles and Champions League trophies with Liverpool. And where else do you go after Liverpool? You're only going to go downhill, boys. So, yeah, let's just embrace Mo Salah for the player that he is, and he's wearing that red Liverpool shirt at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just add enough. I think I agree with that totally. Like, Salah is still one of our most creative players, and I think he gets unfairly criticised in terms of the amount of chances he's making. He makes a lot of chances, and I thought like today again showed that hunger, and that's what you want to see in a striker. I don't want Salah to be passing all the time. I want that selfishness that he's showing.
Yeah,
he's scoring goals, creating chances. And like I said, we're seeing a different Salah. He's tracking back, he's doing the defensive work. Because he knows the needs of this. And I'm not worried about that article because I think that article has been twisted. Because you actually read the article, he doesn't say, he talks about he wanted us to, obviously stay and win trophies here and break more records. But the way they twist it is like he's trying to say, "I'm looking for Barcelona and Real Madrid." That's not how, that's not what he said. So, and I think I love it. For me, I love it. I love this hunger from Mane, Bobby, and Salah, where if they're unhappy, they're sat on the bench, because that shows, they want to win, they want to score goals, and I love it. It's competition. That's what we all want. You don't want your players happy to be sat on the bench. You want them feeling frustrated on the pitch, and I think that only bodes well for us going forward. So for me, I thought, Salah was outstanding when he came on again. And you can't, as you said, once Salah goes, then people notice, how crucial it was to us.
Yeah, I just want to add a comment here. Special K from the chat said he was a little disappointed. He was expecting 8. I actually was too. Special K. I thought Salah was going to go for 3 and go for the match ball, but it was funny. I think it was the 55th or 60th minute, and we saw that Mo was coming on. I don't know if Klopp actually called for him to come on. I think that Mo just got was like, all right, I'm coming on. He just scored some goals. But is he the
brilliant?
I love that moment. The goalie.
We'll find.
I'm not sure. I thought I might have heard that. But regardless, I agree with Wahomie. I mean, it's great to see Mo wanting to get into this game and score some goals. It's great seeing Bobby score goals, and it's great seeing Sadio going off angry. Like, I want him to be angry that he's coming off. I want him to want to score more goals. Then it'll project on to the next game. I have to score a goal. I have to score a goal. So I mean, I
don't know if you could see it.
He's top.
Yeah,
he's top.
13 goals. Wow, there it is.
13 goals. Oh wow,
he's going for the golden boot, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man. Awesome.
I love it.
I will say too, before we move on, the one thing I did love today was the reaction when Taki scored and Mane's reaction when he scored. You could tell Mane was like, "Thank God, I finally got that off." But when Taki scored, the biggest thing that I saw was there was a picture. You could see the passion on Taki's face, But then in the background, you can see Gini Wijnaldum freaking out for him. And that's just tell the team wants everyone to be successful. They don't care where it comes from. So it's really good to see. But, Jay, one thing I wanted to ask you actually has nothing to do with this game. Special K has it in the comments here. We've talked about it a few times. With our form recently and how the young guys have been playing, do you still think that we need to go out and get a center half in January?
I do think we will. Need and will is obviously two completely different elements at the minute. So when I mean that, I'll explain it. I still think we will go out and buy a centre half because I do think not replacing Lovren is a bit of a mistake. I think we should have done that. But obviously Klopp didn't expect to have Van Dijk and Gomez injured and then having to put Firmino back in the middle and stuff like that. But obviously we have coped without Firmino in the middle. But when Firmino is in the middle, we do add an extra bit to our game, and then it allows other players to go forward. So we do need to get Firmino back in the middle as soon as possible, although he's doing very, very well. He's probably the second best centre-back in the league, isn't he, behind Van Dijk at the minute, which is fantastic. But I do think that we will enter the market in January. I think Michael Edwards has been working on that for the last couple of months because he knew that we would need one. My worry is obviously everybody knows we need a centre-half, so expect whoever we buy is going to cost a lot of money. But again, we are very clever in the transfer market, so I'm sure we'll get the player that we need. Obviously, the likes of Upamecano has been thrown around there from Leipzig. I don't see us getting him now that we've drawn them in the Champions League. But then again, Leipzig sold Timo Werner before they got to the semis, so they're a funny club like that, aren't they? So there's loads of different names going around. Vestergaard at Southampton. Are we going to go raid Southampton again for another one of their centre halves? Because the Southampton fans are calling him Virgil van Vestergaard, so he might be an interesting option. So They're rating him down there. But I do think we will get someone because we are going to need that backup. Because one thing that did surprise me this week was there was no Nat Phillips in the side against Tottenham. Reece Williams came back in the side. Now, Nat Phillips, last time he played, he got man of the match, and he hasn't been seen in the side since. So there's some. Yeah. I don't know if there's something gone on there. I don't know if Klopp has said, he's not in my plans, because I do believe that Nat Phillips would have left the club already if Van Dijk and Gomez were still fit. I think he would have gone on loan, or we would have sold him. So I don't think he's in the pecking order, and Reece Williams might have just overtaken him. So I do think we do need that extra cover. Someone who is played European football regularly, someone who's got that bit of a pedigree in defence already for his club who he's playing for respectively. But it is going to cost us a fortune, boys, because everyone knows that we need a centre half. So I do think we do need that backup centre half option. Or are we now going to buy someone? You guys can answer this. Are we buying someone as a backup to Gomez, or are we buying someone to partner Van Dijk? That's the question.
I think that he thinks partner Van Dijk. I think if you can get a guy like Schurz, who might be more comfortable with, hey, listen, you're going to get a lot of minutes this year, but then you're going to be our third guy next year. I think that's, for me, is ideal, because we've seen Gomez this year and what he's capable of, especially when Van Dijk went out. And I don't want to stunt his growth, because I think he has all the makings of being one of the best center backs in the Premier League, if not the world.
Yeah,
I think when you talk about Schurz, I don't think he's going to leave Ajax, where he's starting week in, week out, to come be a squad player for us. Especially when he's playing football, no way. If he leaves, because he was saying that if he leaves Ajax, he wants first team football. So he ain't gonna come and sit on our bench. So I think if you are buying, as much as I love Gomez, I think he's still prone to the odd concentration issues, and he is constantly every year gets an impact injury that takes him out. It's been that way since his Charlton days. So as much as I think he's a great player, I would want a centre back that partners Van Dijk.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd be looking at someone to come in and just be able to play 30, 40 games like that, and help us go forward. So I don't think we're going to get that in January, though. I can't see us being able to afford it or be able to attract that kind of player in January. Because like you said, Leipzig are going to sell to us. Konate, Upamecano. I mean, I heard there was a Lille striker because Lille in trouble, financial trouble. It's the centre back. That's supposed to be quite good, but I'm at the thing of thinking we won't get anyone in January. Feeling now, because Pierce said as well the other day you can't see us signing anyone. So I love what we did, but I'm
never know. He's been wrong in the past.
Yeah,
Steven, let's just go to man of the match.
Yeah, let's wrap it. Man of the match here. So everybody, there's a lot of good choices this game. Put in the 7th spot, could go to about anybody, but Andrew, why don't you start us off this time? We won't make you go last. So why don't you kick us off? Who's your man of the match?
Jordan Henderson. I mean, I want to give it to Bobby Firmino because he has 2 goals and an assist. But Jordan Henderson, I'm nicknaming him the mop. He's just the mop. He was everywhere. He's cleaning it up, and he was one of the reasons why we didn't give up a goal in the first half. But Jordan Henderson for me.
Right around. Go ahead, homie.
I'm going to say Miguel. Same again, Hendo. I thought he was everywhere in the first half.
Agreement, Wahomie.
No, because majority of the time we agree on stuff. Majority of the time.
I know.
I just think he was outstanding. And everyone doubting Hender's quality and what he brings to the team. And if he's world class, he showed it again because he was everywhere, dictating the game. He was breaking up attacks. He was creating things. Just a captain performance. And I think Jordan Henderson's like a fine wine. He's getting better with age. And I can see him doing this. Like Milner's doing well into he's 34, 35. So, I think he's fantastic again. So, Jordan Henderson for me.
Cool. I'm going to go with Bobby Firmino just because he needed it, and the breaks and the goals win your games, and absolutely agree with the other boys. You could give it to a number of players. Henderson was fantastic, but I'm just going to give it to Bobby just because he deserves a man of the match after the week he's had. So that's for me, Bobby Firmino. Yeah,
I really agree. I'm also going Bobby Firmino. 2 beautiful goals. I mean, the first goal, that first touch just set him up. There was no way he was going to miss that. Perfect setup. Second goal, beautiful chip over the keeper. Great assist as well. And on top of it, we got a Bobby karate kick. So come on, you gotta give the guy
for winning
for that.
Perfect game.
Absolutely. So absolutely hell of a result. We got some time off now. That's about a week or 8 days until our next match. So. No, we'll be back for the pre-match West Brom. We got that, got about a week out for that. But, if you haven't yet, go hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And Jay, thanks so much for coming on, man. We've been trying to do this for a while. And,
Thank you, Jay.
We really appreciate you.
We appreciate it.
All the good work with the Kopite and Redman TV. If you guys haven't checked out the Kopite or Redman TV, go check it out. It's awesome, awesome stuff. And Jay, thanks again, man. We definitely want to have you on again.
Anytime, boys. You just let me know.
He'll be back.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much to all 3 of you for inviting me. It was an absolute pleasure. And what a debut. I don't know if I can, Liverpool need to put another good performance because this has been brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, we really appreciate you coming on. We've been a big fan of you for a while. And, your support for us really means a lot to us. So we appreciate it. But
you boys are doing fantastically. And what I love about it as well is, one, obviously, the name of the channel is fucking incredible. I absolutely love that anyway. But it's so good to see you boys doing that sort of stuff from over there, and it is an absolute pleasure seeing the work you're doing, how good your channel's got over the last couple of months, the way you've been doing it. Your Twitter page is fantastic, and you've got all the support from everyone at the Kopite as well, mate. It's just brilliant. So keep doing what you're doing, and we've got to do more stuff together. And absolutely. Then once all this shit is finished,
we'll come out there.
If you come over here, and then we'll go out there and we'll get it started, boys.
You know it.
Absolutely. That sounds great. Well, everyone tuning in, thanks again. Up the Reds, top of the
subscribe. Like and subscribe, Reds. Like and subscribe.
We're bringing that baby home again, back-to-back years. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Up the Reds. We'll see you in a week for the pre-match West Brom. Take care, everybody.
Yep.
See you, boys.